We're going to start with a good friend of mine, John Rogers. John Rogers was a top portfolio manager, top 5% on Wall Street. He got me in a company. We did pretty well. We took that company up to where we both made millions. Actually, he went ahead and got to a position where he made 64,000 a month or something like that. But here's the claim to fame. Unlike some other people, not pointing any fingers at myself, he went ahead and he took $10,000 every month and put it into his own investment portfolio. 10,000 a month, guys. That's what can happen with when you're in at the right place at the right time. And boy, we're in the right place at the right time. And John also is a gentleman, started his own company called Wealth Creation Mastermind, him and Karen. By the way, Karen's no shrinking violet. She got her online business up to over $1 million a year in volume. And so she's quite accomplished also. And so what I want you to listen to is the trends, because John talked to me about a Kodak moment. He talked to me about the trends that are going on. I was blown away by it because people that plan on investing actually understand trends and work at it. And John, welcome to the call and take her away.
Oh, thanks, Al. It's great to be here and a lot of accomplished people on the call. It's great to see everybody. And yeah, when we're talking about what Al's referring to the Kodak moment, what he's talking about really is one of those inglorious moments in business where a company has something huge in their hands and they don't realize it. Kodak, we all have, how many of you guys have a digital camera? We all do, right? They're all right there on our iPhones, our Androids, our iPads. We all carry them around in our pockets. We take pictures and selfies all the time. They're digital cameras. The company that invented that was the film company, Kodak, and they had all their revenues coming from film. So what did they do with the digital camera? Well, they buried it. Boom, 2012, bye-bye Kodak, gone. Polaroid, gone. And they are not, see, the thing about this is that change is ever present. It happens everywhere. Every industry hits its Kodak moment. You think about, and by the way, what we're really talking about, guys, is being in the right place at the right time, because every time there's a massive change that comes along, there's massive opportunity. There's risk, you bet, but there's also massive opportunity. And here's the thing that we've all got to look in the mirror and say, yeah, I was there. I was at the right place at the right time and I failed to act. And maybe you're going, no, that wasn't me. I was never at the right place at the right time. Yes, you were. The last financial crisis came along, 2008. The result of that was a guy by the name of Satoshi Nakamoto comes up with a harebrained idea called Bitcoin. You could have bought Bitcoin at a penny. It's now at $120,000 per coin. We were all in the right place at the right time. And you don't have to be the inventor of an idea. There was something called a Palm Pilot, a BlackBerry. I don't know about you guys. I had a BlackBerry. I had a Palm Pilot. I had a Trio. And then along comes something called an iPhone. How many of us bought Apple in 2010? Duh. And then in 1993, Jeff Bezos has the idea of selling books online, took it public in 97. Borders Books said, hi, it'll never fly. They outsourced their online book selling to Amazon. Where's Borders? How many of us bought Amazon in 1997? They have made so many millionaires with their stock. I want to talk about Amazon for just a second, because what you got to get in your mind is that was a brilliant move in e-commerce. They didn't start off selling everything under the sun with little brown boxes with smiles ending up on all of our porches because of our Prime membership right from the get-go. But he had a vision from the outset. But he did something else. And he created what I call a profit extractive model. What that means, and this is germane to our conversation today, what a corporate profit extractive model is: everything, every algorithm, every warehouse, every relationship with their vendors, all of the shoppers, everybody engaged, all of the Prime members, it's designed for one thing, and that is to funnel every bit of profit, every quintillionth of a cent, back to the castle, back to the palace, back to the corporation, and back to the shareholders. So what we're talking about is trends that come along, and those aren't the only trends. You think about some of the other. Did Elon Musk invent the electric vehicle? No, they've been around for over 100 years. But boy, did he turn the internal combustion engine industry on its ear, because he built a better EV. And it just, the list goes on and on, Elon Musk. And then what we're talking about tonight is a guy by the name of Oscar Beers. Here's another visionary. What we're talking about is an industry, same industry that Jeff Bezos thought was ripe for plucking, but this time it's flipping the script from a profit extractive model to a community shopping, community marketing where everybody profits. Now, why is this germane? Why does this matter? What are we really talking about here? All right, what we're really talking about is we're standing on the brink of a revolution, is what it really comes down to. It's redefining an entire industry, and the industry that we're talking about is something called member-based shopping networks. Big deal. When I think about shopping, I think about women pushing carts through grocery stores. I just couldn't get excited about shopping. And then I got my head out of the toilet and realized the size, the magnitude. What we're talking about is last year, online commerce was $6.3 trillion. This year, going to $6.9 trillion. In 2030, it'll be $9.7 trillion. It's got an 8.9, almost a 9% annual compound growth rate. Now, these are big numbers, right? What does that really mean? Let's put it in perspective so that we really understand what we're dealing with, where we're going, and what this means to us. All right, a million, billion, a trillion. What's a million? Let's put this into a chunk that we can understand. 1 second, there's 60 seconds in a minute on our watch. So a million seconds from now, a little less than 2 weeks, 12 days, what were you doing 12 days ago? I can barely remember what I had for breakfast this morning. 12 days ago, I think I could figure it out. That's a million. A billion is 32 years ago. I was still on Wall Street. I was still a portfolio manager. I was still working 80-hour, 100-hour work weeks. Oh my gosh, I was young. I had hair. That was a long time ago. That's a billion. What's a trillion? You know where we were a trillion seconds ago? We were hunting woolly mammoths. We were running away from saber-toothed tigers, and we couldn't live in North America or Northern Europe because they were under 300 feet of ice. We were living in caves. We hadn't invented agriculture. There was no such thing as civilization. Neanderthals had just died out. That's 1 trillion. And we're talking about an industry, a niche, that's going to be 9.7 trillion. Now, why does this matter to us? Every time one of these new trends come along, and if you have the grace to identify it early on and take advantage, hop on board and plug in, you can be swept on to an unbelievable return. Why do I talk about this? We were talking about these visionaries, Satoshi and Steve and Elon and Jeff and all these guys that had a big vision. What if you had a visionary that, oh, by the way, happened to have some real chops? What if this guy happened to work for a little company between 2001 and 2021, not just work for him, but was the CEO in a major country, right? You ever hear of a company called Apple? That's the kind of caliber individual we're talking about, Oscar Beers. So he goes, what if we could reimagine, reinvent this coming $9.7 trillion industry, and instead of having a corporate extractive, profit extractive model that only benefited shareholders, what if every shopper, what if every member, what if all you had to do is come in and shop and earn, refer and earn, share and earn? What if everybody in the community got to participate in the profits? Oh, I guess this isn't just about little old ladies pushing shopping carts down grocery store aisles. So I got my head out of the water and I said, my gosh, I'm not going to let this slip through my fingers. That is what we're dealing with. And it's a massive industry. Our timing is incredible. They just launched on July 7th. They're not even doing their official launch. We're in beta. They're not even doing their official global launch until February of 2026. Wow, our timing. Al, I am excited. Thank you for introducing me to it.